Teacher Shen Yi had just finished taking attendance for all 101 students when Elder Kai took the opportunity to stress the significance of personal drive and hard work in achieving success at Shrek Academy. However, her sudden shift in focus to the day's agenda left Wu Lin and his friends feeling uneasy, unsure of what awaited them. With a knowing smile, Elder Kai's demeanor only intensified their discomfort. They couldn't shake the feeling that their past mistakes had caught her attention, and they dreaded the potential consequences. As they settled into their new routine, Wu Lin and his friends silently hoped that Elder Kai's presence in their class wouldn't become a regular occurrence. Shen Yi made sure to inform every one of them about the importance of their student identification cards. These cards held their personal information and contribution points, which could be exchanged for various benefits. Whether it was resources for cultivation, spiritual items, access to special facilities, personal guidance from teachers, or even entry to the prestigious Spirit Ascension platform, their contribution points held great value. Not only that, but working students also relied on these points to purchase food. In the outer court, contribution points could be used for almost anything within reason. The possibilities were endless, as they could exchange their points for whatever they desired. Sensing their curiosity, Shen Yi posed a question, knowing they must be wondering how to earn more contribution points. The answer was simple. They had to complete jobs assigned by the academy. There was a wide range of tasks available, from physical labor to metal forging, mecha making, and even design and maintenance. How they chose to spend their contribution points was entirely up to them. However, it was important to note that these points would only remain valid as long as Shrek Academy stood. As for their schedule, classes would only be held in the morning, leaving the afternoon and evening free for the students to pursue their interests. Of course, there were consequences for excessive absences. Unless there were special circumstances and the approval of a teacher, anyone absent 3 times would face expulsion. Additionally, it was worth mentioning that some places on campus did not accept Federation money. Bringing any items purchased with Federation money onto campus was strictly prohibited and would result in fines if caught. In Shrek Academy, students in the bottom 5 of the yearly minor exams faced expulsion. The academy specialized in nurturing monsters, so those who slacked off wouldn't last long. A list of optional courses would be circulated, revealing additional classes and resources available throughout the academic year. Students had to use contribution points to access these resources, with some classes being free for regular students and others requiring payment. Working students had to pay for all optional classes. Transaction information could be shared on the academy's public platform, but the academy would deduct a 15% fee. Shen Yi cautioned students about point deductions, as reaching negative 1,000 points would result in expulsion. She then shifted the focus to the morning's class. The initial subject matter revolved around battle armor masters. The speaker provided a detailed explanation of what it meant to be a battle armor master, and the journey one had to undertake to become one. It was revealed that only a mere 33% of outer court students managed to graduate as one-word battle armor masters before the age of 35. Essentially, this meant that 1/3 of all outer court students possessed the necessary qualities to achieve this prestigious title. Furthermore, if a student had already established a solid foundation in their secondary professions prior to joining, they were in luck, as it would facilitate their progress moving forward. Those who demonstrated exceptional talent and became one-word battle armor masters at the age of 25 or younger were even eligible to join the esteemed inner courts. However, failing the inner court exam would result in graduation as an outer court student, with no option to continue. It was clear that time was of the essence during their stay. The discussion then transitioned to the connection between battle armor masters and spirit masters, highlighting that battle armor masters were indeed a subset of spirit masters. The mecha served as the gear for individuals, while battle armor was the gear for all spirit masters. However, becoming a true battle armor master required more than just a one-word title. It was only when one fused completely with their armor, making it an extension of their body and soul, that they could be considered a true master. This fusion required resonance and attraction between the armor and the spirit essence until they became one. There were 4 levels of battle armor: 1-word, 2-word, 3-word, and 4-word. To achieve mastery, one had to choose a secondary profession related to armor building. The most effective choices were mecha makers and mecha designers. Designers created armor that perfectly matched their spirit essence, while makers incorporated circuits into the armor through the fusion process. While blacksmithing or mecha mechanics were also options, forging was considered the most challenging to begin with. After Shen Yi finished her lecture on battle armor masters, she made sure to drive home the importance of choosing a secondary profession wisely. She emphasized that no one could excel in all 4 professions simultaneously. Shen Yi reminded her students that collaboration and personal relationships were crucial on their journey, as unity with their battle armor could greatly enhance their power. Xiao Yan reflected on the lesson. Meanwhile, Zi's mind wandered, wondering where Wu Lin could be. It was then that they discovered Wu Lin's contribution points were insufficient to cover his meals. Zi and Xiaoyan decided to eat while Wu Lin searched for a solution to his predicament. In the plaza, Wu Lin stood with a note advertising his blacksmithing skills, hoping to exchange a first-grade 1,000 refined metal for a year's worth of meals. Although he initially faced difficulties, his luck changed when Yuanan approached him and expressed interest in his services. Negotiating a deal, Wu Lin agreed to exchange a top-notch 1,000 refining for 1,100 points, with the condition that Yuanan paid him up front to cover the cost of meals. Despite the Academy's transaction fee, Wu Lin found comfort in the idea of a satisfying meal. In the dining hall, Wu Lin ordered generously, taking the opportunity to explain to Yuanan the significance of food in his cultivation journey. He emphasized how consuming nourishing meals played a vital role in his growth as a potential battle armor master, as it enhanced his blood essence. After their meal, Yuanan proceeded to forge, which prompted Wu Lin to inquire about accessing a workshop. Yuanan explained the various options available through the Academy's associations, suggesting that Wu Lin should consider joining the Blacksmith Association. However, their conversation was abruptly interrupted by a towering figure who demanded Wu Lin's presence. Wu Lin couldn't help but feel a sense of unease when the man suddenly appeared and demanded his presence. Uncertain of the stranger's intentions, he reluctantly agreed and followed him to his workshop. It was there that the man revealed his interest in Wu Lin's spirit-refining abilities. The boy explained that he had yet reached to gain 3 spirit rings and was unsure of his skills. Despite the man's disappointment, he still asked Wu Lin to perform 1,000 refinements for him. Setting certain conditions, Wu Lin insisted on choosing his metals to forge. Surprisingly, the man agreed and allowed Wu Lin to select the materials he desired. As Wu Lin delved into his work, he carefully observed the unique characteristics of the metals and heeded the man's reminder about their usage. Nevertheless, Wu Lin remained resolute in his decision, stressing the importance of efficiency in his craft. With the looming threat of failure hanging over him, Wu Lin concentrated on his task, employing his newly upgraded spirit-refined hammers for the very first time. The enhanced weight and stacking effect of the hammers left the man in awe, impressed by Wu Lin's expertise and the excellence of his creations. Employing the Tang sect's disorder-splitting wind hammer technique, Wu Lin forged the dense meteoric iron, pushing himself hard. Upon finishing the forging process, the man was taken aback by Wu Lin's speed and the exceptional quality of the final product. Having been spirit-refined, Wu Lin's hammers needed his blood essence to unleash their full power. This provided him with immediate feedback on the impact of each strike. The man watched in astonishment as Wu Lin showcased his exceptional forging abilities. Feng Wuyu, the president of the Shrek Blacksmith Association, wasted no time and made Wu Lin a member. He handed him a badge and insisted that Wu Lin had no other option but to join. Although Wu Lin was initially hesitant, Feng Wuyu asserted his authority as an 8th-level Saint Blacksmith. He demanded that Wu Lin pay his respects and become his disciple. However, Wu Lin stood firm, explaining that he already had a teacher, Mu Chen, the president of the EC Blacksmith Association. Feng Wuyu's disdain for Mu Chen was evident, but Wu Lin remained loyal to his current mentors. Undeterred, Feng Wuyu showcased his impressive skills, boasting about his power and influence as a titled Duluo with 9 spirit rings, including the coveted red one. Despite Feng Wuyu's attempts to persuade him, Wu Lin stayed resolute, refusing to betray his teachers for personal gain. Instead, Wu Lin proposed a compromise, suggesting that Feng Wuyu seek approval from Mu Chen before accepting him as a disciple. Agreeing to Wu Lin's terms, Feng Wuyu entrusted him with the metals he had forged and welcomed him to return. As Wu Lin left the workshop, he couldn't help but be in awe of the president's immense power. He considered Feng Wuyu's status as a titled Duluo and decided to seek clarification from his teachers. Wu Lin had spent half a day searching for Yuanan, but finally he found him. To his surprise, Yuanan had joined the Blacksmith Association. Wu Lin excitedly informed him that he was incredibly lucky to have been personally recruited by Elder Feng. He then mentioned that the Blacksmith Association was located on the 4th floor. Eager to get started, they made their way to the association and were greeted by a receptionist who appeared to be a fellow student. Wu Lin introduced himself and proudly showed the receptionist the badge Elder Feng had given him. He then asked if there were any other tasks he needed to complete. The receptionist was astonished by Wu Lin's connection to Elder Feng and immediately began registering him. He requested access to Wu Lin's personal information, and as if by magic, all the details appeared on the screen. From his name to his membership in the Eastern Blacksmith Association, his 4th rank, and even his 2nd-place victory in the Junior Division Blacksmith Tournament Sky-Sea Alliance Tournament, everything was displayed. After verifying the information, the receptionist returned Wu Lin's badge. Curious about Wu Lin's status, he asked if he was a working student. Wu Lin learned about how the payment system worked, starting with owning a private shop of about 20 square meters. As one's rank advanced, the workshop would expand. Additionally, the association provided forgers with 10 chunks of metal each month, which they could use as they pleased. They also received a 20% discount when purchasing additional metal from the association. Furthermore, there was even the possibility of getting a job with the association. Wulin couldn't help but feel a surge of excitement as he realized the opportunities that awaited him in the Blacksmith Association. Wulin was immediately intrigued by the idea and showed his enthusiasm for taking on some jobs. The receptionist kindly informed him that he could complete up to 3 jobs per month, which would earn him a generous 2,000 points. To make things even better, the receptionist handed him his workshop door card, ensuring that he had easy access whenever he needed to buy metal or accept new jobs. All he had to do was swing by the front desk, and assistance would be provided right away. Yuanen, on the other hand, had a specific request. He needed a complete set of armor for his battle armor project, and turned to Wulin for recommendations. Wulin hesitated for a moment, knowing that his spirit essence caused his body to grow significantly in size. However, he couldn't let his friend down and asked about Yuanen's spirit essence. To his surprise, Yuanen revealed that he possessed the giant ape spirit essence,